What's up, all you horror movie loving fuckers? Welcome back to another episode of Fright Flick Fuck Mary Kill. We've made it through the end of another week. It's Friday. It's that time of the week. Hey, go grab a chair, bring it on up to the table, run to the kitchen, get your favorite beverage, and then we're gonna jump in and we're gonna talk some shit about a horror movie. But yeah, we're back for another week, people, and we got us a request this week. This movie was not really a request, but it was recommended for me to watch. It's from a good friend of the family over at Mortal Thoughts Pod. She reached out and recommended this movie for me to watch. And after I watched it, and she even told me going into it when she mentioned it, it's kind of an odd movie. And so after I watched it, I was like, man, I think I want to do a show on it because it's one of those movies that I think I'll just have a lot of fun fucking talking shit about. Um, on this week's episode, we are talking about Amelia's Children. Now, I watched this over on Hulu. I'm not sure if there's anywhere else to watch it. I feel sure there is, but I watched it on Hulu. Amelia's Children. Now, the date wise, IMDb said 2023, but it also down at the bottom said it was released in the US in 2024 because this is a Portuguese horror movie. And for some of you out there, you may not like, oh, foreign movies. I don't want to read subtitles. It's not one of those. 99.9% of it is in English. So you'll be okay, people. Um, so that's what we're going to talk about this week. And I tell people all the time when I do shows, I take recommendations and stuff like that. And there's if I get there's been some recommendations that I get that I've gotten some that we've already talked about, or I've gotten some that after I look into it, I'm just like, no, I'm not doing it because recently there was one that was recommended, and I pulled it up because I'd never heard of it. And as soon as I Googled this movie, one of the things that popped up was that the this headline jumped out before anything about the fucking movie, people. It jumped out, and it was basically about the director of this particular movie apparently got charged for P Diddying a couple of the kids that was in the movie that he had done. And so I was like, no, I'm not going to give that dude any type of anything at all, because he was doing some, P Diddy and the kids. And that's right, people. I said it, P Diddy. And back in the day, we used to call it, made a little comment when I was growing up, it was always be like, oh, diddling some kids, or diddling, a little southern word. But, now it's been upgraded to P Diddy. And hey, I said it. I don't give a fuck. I tell people all the time, you're gonna listen to this show right before you come in the door, before you come to the table. One, check your feelings at the door. Two, put on your big boy britches, cause we're gonna talk shit around here and balls to the wall, no holes barred. We don't edit shit. We don't fucking none of that. And so yeah, P Diddy. Um, and hey, I do research, people. I have Facebook. Everything I get news related comes off of Facebook because it's got to be true. Think about it. They have fact checkers there. I've posted stuff on Facebook before and they have come back and they said, whoa, 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 we fact checked this and this is not correct. And so I'm thinking, okay, so that's better than the news. Facebook has people out there that checks shit for us, checkers. And so, you know, I've a lot of P Diddy and shit's out there right now, people, and it's still getting posted. But apparently, the fact checkers can't find nothing to like not to stop it. So I do research. I have Facebook, and they have fact checkers. People, Mark, appreciate it. Does a lot of homework for me. So I do research. That's my news. Everything I gets. If it's not sports related, I'm a big sports guy. If it's not sports related, 99.9, most of my info comes from, Facebook and TikTok, so they have fact people. So yeah, you know, so that's why I wasn't going to talk about that movie because of, you know, come to find the director was doing some stuff with the kids, and I'm not giving a sick fuck like that the time of day. So fuck him, he can go fuck right off. So, but yeah, um, I was I was surprised when I watched this movie, and because it was, when it was recommended, so it's kind of an odd movie, and so around here we like odd, we like different, we like fucked up, we like movies that will make you scratch your head and kind of be like, what the fuck, kind of thing. So I'm down with those. I love those types of movies. So I want to give you a quick little IMDb right off for this movie. And if you haven't watched it, it is, like I said, on Hulu. I'm gonna spoil it because this is one of those. The more I talk about it, I gotta spoil it. So if you haven't seen it, push pause. You know, don't put your drink away. Keep your drink. Push pause. Go watch the movie, then come back and listen to the shit we're gonna talk about this movie. But yeah, so I'm gonna read right off of like what IMDb and shit that gets put out there. Amelia's Children, 2024 Portuguese horror thriller film written and directed by Gabriel, um, a name I can't pronounce. Abrantes, Abrantes. I feel sure I'm, in a Portuguese accent. Maybe that shit sounds right, or wherever he's from. But Abrantes, whatever. But here's what the little plot. When Edward's search for his biological family leads him and his girlfriend Ryley to a magnificent villa high in the mountains of northern Portugal, he is full of excitement at meeting his long lost mother and twin brother. Finally, he will discover who he is and where he comes from. But nothing is as it seems, and Edward will soon learn that he is linked to them by a monstrous, I think that's how you say that word, a southern, whatever, monstrous secret. Now, um, we're just going to jump right into it, people. Just gave you a little backstory. I will, as I go, I feel like as I talk about this, you're kind of going to know where my rating's going because around here we do rate them on whether or not we'd fuck, marry, or kill. If you're new to the show, if this is your first time hanging out at the Fright Flick table with us, you know, fuck, that's the one night stand. That's the friends with benefits. That's that movie that every now and then you'll want to watch it again. Every now and then. Could be 6 months from now, could be a year from now, but you're going to go back to it. It's in your little speed dial, in your little black book. It's that fallback. Then we got the Mary. That's one of those movies that you can watch every day, any day of the week. You're down with it. Now, then we got the kill. The kill is what we call the sea donkey. That's the one night stand. That's the last call for alcohol. The bar shutting down, and you look around for the first thing that's still standing that will look your way, and one night stand. You hit it. You're never gonna watch it again. Never. Like you watched it, done deal. You know, it's over. You never want to think about it again. So that's how we rate it. And that's how I'm gonna rate this one. And the more I talk about it, you may ballpark what the fuck I'm gonna rate it as. But yes, we're gonna just dive right into it. Couple things that I did like with this movie the way it started because it what it does is it kind of gets my attention kind of quick because I'm one of those that I need you to get my attention fast. Every now and then a slow burn is worth it, but I do really good if it can do something to tickle my fancy quick. And this one does that. This one does that. Here's what we're going to do. I won't, I feel sure there's some mamas out there listening. I feel sure there's some parents out there, mama with some kids and shit. So I want you, as you're sitting around the table right now, I want you to just kind of pause with me. I want you just imagine, because we're going to dive into how this thing goes. You at home, just you and your babies. And let's just say it's getting late at night, getting ready to put them down. It's time to go to sleep, time to go night night, you know. And in the beginning, these are kind of new babies, little bottles. They still in the bottle. These are like new babies, kind of. Not new babies, but pretty new. They still in the bottle. They still pretty new. So yeah, just think like putting bottles down, set of twins. Say you got twins, and you're about to put them down for the night, but there's people in your house. There's somebody in your house right now as you're putting the kids down for the night. Mom she's dealing with twins, and good Lord, kudos to whoever can handle that shit because that's two of everything. If so say you got two twins, you got one kind of chilling out. You're trying to get one down. You're trying to, like she's doing it all herself. Um, so but there's people in your house. Somebody's come into your house. And somebody's going to come in your house and they're there to take your kids. They're going to kidnap them, snatch them right out of your house. And so you see it. You see this guy and girl are going to come into the house. They're in the house. You're going to see a baby in the floor, a little dude just laying there on the floor. You know how they got them little fancy things now that kind of little arch over the baby, and the baby lays on the floor looking up at it, entertained by the shit hanging off of it. Baby just chilling in the floor. Mom's got the other baby, taking it to like the nursery or something, whatever she's doing. Then these two people are going to come out. They're going to come out, and you're going to see the girl. There's a girl and a guy. The girl comes in, snatches that baby off the floor, and then she's hightailing it out of the house, like out of the house, hidden, like she has taken your baby. Mamas, if you're out there, stay with me. Somebody has come into your house, snatched up one of your babies. You have no clue. Just took off out of the house. Now you in the nursery with the other one trying to get it down. And so you see the mom lay the baby down in the crib. And then she kind of walks over to the window. Baby's just chilling out. He's doing good, not crying. He's doing this thing. Mom walks over to the window. Mom looks out the window. And when she looks out the window, she sees there's a car kind of in the driveway. She sees the taillights on it because the girl who has snatched up one of the baby boys is now made it back to the car. She's ready to take off. Mom looks out the window. She sees the taillights. Now, the dude still in the house. Dude comes into the nursery. Mom's got his back. Let's just say, Mom, as you looking out the window, like that doesn't look right. That makes no sense. Who is this car? What is it doing out here? While she's looking, the dude comes into the nursery, reaches into the crib, picks up the little baby. When he picks up the baby makes a little whiny sound. Mom turns, and when she turns, this dude bolts. Like he is hauling ass out of the house. Mom is screaming like she is losing it. Like this baby just got snatched right there in the same room that she's standing in. Mom has snatched up this baby. I mean, not the mom, but the dude has snatched up the baby and has taken off. And so the girl's in the car. The girl's waiting. They get downstairs as the dude's running out of the house. This is why I said it had my attention early because some shit's going down fast. Well, all of a sudden, the mom kind of gets down to the bottom of the stairs. Mom, it shows a little close up. Mom looks up. Mom's eyes have gone completely white. Like when people can roll their eyes up in the back of their head and all you see is white. That's what mom has. Solid white eyes. Creepy right out of the gate. So now I'm like, oh shit, you have my attention. Good job. I'm in it right now. I'm kind of like, okay, shit, here we go. Like you're wasting no time. The girl's out in the car. She's ready to go. Got the little boy in the back seat and waiting for the dude to come out of the house. And she's hearing the screaming. Like, and so the girl's in the car. And next thing you know, she kind of looks in the rearview mirror and you see the mother running out of the house, chasing after that car. As soon as she looks in the mirror and sees that shit, she's out of there. She's on the gas. She's taking off, going down the little driveway. Mom, you see in the rearview mirror, running behind, yelling and screaming. Because the lady just got her baby snatched out of her own house in the evening one night. That's how it starts off. Had my attention quick. Like, oh shit, yeah, here we go. You didn't have me some excitement. Baby's getting snatched up. Mama's got the white eyes rolled back in her head. You don't know what's going on with that. Now, in the beginning of it, though, what comes into play later on is, you know, in the beginning, she's putting a little something in the bottle. She's got one of them little medicine bottles with a little dropper. We call them droppers. Where you put it in there, push the little gushy thing on top. It sucks the medicine up in it. Then you kind of squeeze it out. Well, she's taking some of that. She's putting it in the bottle. I don't really think nothing of it when you see it because maybe it's just some shit back. This is some older days. This is like, it looks like maybe in like the fucking 70s or so, you know, by the way the cars looked and stuff like that. And so maybe I'm thinking like, okay, is this just maybe something they put in the bottles, make the little baby go night night, baby don't want to settle down, doing some teething, you know, unlike, better than before Jack Daniels, you just take the old pacifier, drop it down in Jack Daniels and slap it in the baby's mouth, numb them gums up, put them right to sleep. Good stuff. So I'm thinking maybe that's something in the bottle that she's putting to kind of like help the baby settle down that night, help them be mellow. Mama wants to get some sleep. Let's just knock these little fuckers out for the night, So that's where I'm thinking it's going. And so mom drives off, baby's taken. And then all of a sudden we jump forward. Now we're present day. So it did a good job of kind of getting me going. Like story right out of the gate, little back story, because after the mom's chasing the car, eventually you see the little bassinet thing that the baby's in that she put him in when she got to the car. This is sitting out front of a fireplace. I'm not a fireplace, fuck. A fire department. It's sitting out front. It's like we've all heard the stories, just you don't you find a baby you don't want, drop it off at the fire department. Just maybe there's a drop basket or something. You put the little thing in, but baby's outside of the fire department. Then it jumps forward, present day, and what we're going to get is this dude named Ed, who is also Edward, who we mentioned earlier when I read the little backstory. You're going to come to find out. And you start kind of putting it together. Edward is going to be the baby that got snatched out of the house and dropped off at the fire department. Because present day, he's on the phone. And I think it's like almost like 30 years later. So, Ed's up to right pushing 30-ish, somewhere in that time frame. But it shows him he's on the phone. And he is on the phone with like this. I guess it's one of these companies that do like ancestor type shit, try to track down where you came from, adoption age. I don't know, but he's trying to figure out where he came from. Like, now he wants to know who was my mommy, who was my daddy, whatever, At that point, I'm kind of figuring like, why? you're in your 30s, dude. You're living your life. You're doing your thing. You know, why fuck it up? But so he's on the phone and when he's on the phone, you hear them basically tell them that we can't find nothing on you. Like when they do DNA, whatever they're doing, like they can't find nothing. Like we don't know who your parents are. We don't know shit about you. He don't even know his own birthday. Ed don't even know the day he was born. He just has like this, made up day or some shit. I don't know. Maybe whoever adopted him from the fire department doorsteps maybe picked the date. And so that's kind of what's going on. But surprise, surprise, people. This particular day is the day that he likes to celebrate as his birthday. He's back home that evening. He's got a girlfriend named Ryley, and he's kind of all bummed out talking to her. Like, she comes in singing happy birthday to him. She's trying to celebrate, trying to be cool, and he's like, well, I'm not even really sure it's my birthday. He didn't hear no good news from this DNA adoption, whatever the hell it was. He didn't get the news he wanted. He has no clue where he came from, you know. But so, and right out of the gate, one of the things that made me go like, it's weird because he's on the phone. It's like he has this company trying to track down all his information, trying to dig and figure out where he came from. Well, the girlfriend has bought him a gift for his birthday. She has bought him. It's like this ancestry, ancestry. It's like this little ancestry thing. You know how we have the whole whatever the fuck that shit is we have now, where the ancestor.com type bullshit where they can track down your where you came from, your lineage from way back. Like who the fuck cares? Like I could care less. You know, my ancestry shit stops at mom and dad. That's about as far back as I give a fuck about. But, you know, and so she has bought him this little ancestry thing. And when he opens up the present, takes out the box, and it's like this little QR code you scan, and then it comes with this little thing, and you basically scan the QR code. And this could be maybe this is some future shit that could be coming. I don't know, but it scans the QR code. You get this little app on your phone. It comes with this little bitty plastic thing, and what it tells you to do is you stick your finger in it, and this little thing in the privacy of your own home. Put your finger in it. It's going to give you a little prick right in your finger. Bam. And it's supposed to take your DNA and it's supposed to figure out where you came from. Never leave your house, people. Now, Ed's been on the phone with a company that has been trying to get them to get some info on him. He's been trying. They can't find nothing on him. Like we can't find nothing. I don't know who they were. Apparently they were not. Maybe he went with the T-Move version, the Wish version of, DNA trackers. Maybe he did because they can't tell him shit. But the girlfriend stumbled across this little company called Ancestry, and she has bought him this little box that has a QR code in it, an app, and a little bitty plastic thing. He shoves his finger in, pricks his finger, bleeds into it, and it's supposed to do everything for you. And that's exactly what happens because he is going to get a notification just one day out of the blue, little notification. Little sound goes off on his phone with the little app. Looks down there, bam. Miguel Manuel. I'm not sure what his name was. I can't remember. Maybe it's Manuel. I don't know. The shit don't roll off the tongue well, so we're just gonna call him Manuel. Shit. I don't know. Let's just call him Manny because I can't pronounce his fucking name right. But it's this little notification goes off. Bam. We have a match. Certain percentage. This little app shows everything to you. And it basically is set up to where it can put you in contact with this person that it has discovered that has the same DNA match as you. And so he of course tells his little girlfriend Riley about it. She like asks him, like, well, no, are you gonna call him? And he's like, yeah, whatever. Well, then like one day out of the blue, he gets a little notification on his phone. Old Manny has reached out to him. Manny did the work. He's like, hey, do you want to talk? Just that quick. First message right out of the gate after they do the little first, hey, do you want to talk? Well, then Edward hits the little button. Bam. Next thing you know, you're on the phone with your flesh and blood. I don't know how much money he may have paid with this one company trying to track down some information, and they basically told him we have nothing. But the girlfriend, Ancestry, has an app with a QR code and a little plastic thing that you finger. And it was able to basically, a day or two later, put him in contact with his own fucking brother in like 2 days. So I don't know what company he hired to do the work for him, but he should, they should get a very bad review on Yelp. 1 star, motherfuckers, because app, QR code, finger in a plastic thing, and I have my brother. A couple days later, that's how fast it went. So the brother reaches out to him, and the brother's basically telling him, like, oh, you're my brother. You were kidnapped many years ago. And, this has how this thing kicks off now. So now Ed has made contact with where he came from, family, twin brother Manny. And so they decide that they're going to hop a plane to go to, um, I don't do geography, people. I don't even know if I took that shit in high school. I graduated, but oh yeah, Portugal. Shit. I had a brain fart because I'm sitting there thinking Portuguese, like, but where the fuck are they from? Portugal. So, bam, they're going over there to go visit a little family reunion. Some shit that they could make a TLC episode on, like a little special moment. Here we are with, long lost brother, one brother kidnapped. Um, Next thing the one brother that was kidnapped, girlfriend buys him a fucking little box, QR code, app, finger in the plastic thing, and here we are. Families reunited. That if you think about it, that's like futuristic shit. Like, what if it got to that point, to where it's like, you want to know where you came from, so they send you something, and if you are dumb enough to shove your finger into something, they can take your DNA and just put it out there in the fucking great world of interweb and track down shit. You know, that dude didn't even leave his own room. Fingered the plastic thing, little prick of blood. 2 days later, you are now in contact with your long lost brother who you were kidnapped from 30 years ago. So here we are, road tripping, Portugal, reunited, and it feels so good. You all know the song. So they get out there. Now, when they drive out there, you pick up on something just as kind of odd because when they're driving out there, the phone signal ain't that great, so their GPS ain't really working. They stop at this little farmer stand on the side of the road. The girlfriend gets out to kind of go figure out, some directions. On her phone, she pulls up a picture of the house. They have a picture of the house. They show the lady and her husband sitting there. I don't know if it's her husband, maybe, whatever. But shows the picture. As soon as they see the picture, they're not happy right now. They're basically telling them in, Portuguese type voice to get the fuck out of there. They don't want nothing to do with her. They don't want to help her. As soon as they see that house, they knew who it is because they said the name. And they were like, kind of like, get out of here type thing. She can't really understand them because she don't speak the language. So she gets in the car and they drive off. And one thing I quickly learned, I'll tell you right now in this movie, there is nobody in this movie that you like or you pull for. Nobody. Normally in movies, you got one or two that, those are the ones that you're pulling for. You like, you're their cheerleaders. You want them to make it. You want good things to happen. And then you got those ones where you don't give a fuck what happens to them. Just the sooner you can kill them off, the better. In this movie, there was not one that I liked. I disliked all of them. Just all of them. So bad. Um, One thing that you pick up on brother Ed, is a fucking pussy. This dude, the whole movie is just a pussy. It's like Ryley, the girlfriend, you know, has a bigger dick than fucking Ed does, because he's just the whole movie, he's annoying because he's just so kind of whiny and needy. And he's like one of those boyfriends or whatever that's always asking you, "Are you okay? Are you okay? What do you need? What did I do? Are you mad at me?" He's one of those fucking loser. And so everybody grab your drinks real quick. Got a dry throat. Grab your drinks, family. Take this little gentleman jack break. Oh, that's good stuff. Now, they're going to make it out there. They find it. They get to the big house. They pull up to get out of the car. The first reunion, the first, you know, TLC Hallmark special of two brothers who have been apart, separated for over 30 years, have no clue. 30 years, not even a hint, of knowing where each other was. Nothing. 30 years. And all it took was an app, a QR code, and a little plastic thing you can finger. And here we are, reunited. Manny comes out of the house. The brother, the twin brother, comes out of the house. You can tell identical twins. And so him got Ed standing there. Ryley, the girlfriend, gets out of the car. We got Manny standing over here. Um, they're identical, but they're not. If well, they are identical, but you got little needy boy Ed over here, kind of little short hair. Then you got our dude Manny, the Portuguese brother, long, like trying to be Fabio looking shit, long hair and stuff like that, wears blue jeans way too tight, t-shirts way too tight, tucked in with the belt, with some knee-high boots on, but really snug jeans, really snug t-shirts, tucked in with the belt. That's our dude Manny. And he basically dresses the exact same way the whole movie. But then we get Ed, and Ed annoyed me when he gets out of the car when you're seeing him, because he's one of those that wants to wear like this beanie cap thing on his head. Um, I'm a bit I love beanie caps when it's wintertime. I'm bald headed, as you can see if you're watching this on YouTube. I like a beanie cap. Keeps his old head nice and warm. But Ed shows up. He's one of those that wears a beanie cap where it's like halfway up his head, where it's all it's covering is like the very top part. Like it's not all the way down the way beanie cap. It's just one of those that he just kind of sticks on his head and it's just covering the top part. Noise the shit out of me. Um, so yeah, Ed, the fuck, dude, take the beanie cap off, Ed. You got enough hair up there to keep that little bit of shit warm for you. And it didn't really look like it was cold that time of year. He's just one of those that thinks it's a hip thing maybe to wear a beanie cap just because. But so yeah, they meet, and right out of the gate, the brother Manny, he's just like he calls him brother Ed, like it's a religious like Amish whatever type shit, like brother Ed. And it's weird because I would think that it would take a little time I would think like if this was all new, like you had no clue this person existed, you knew nothing. You would think like, okay, we're going to go over there, which was kind of odd to start with. Like you could have found some neutral grounds to meet on. I don't know if Portugal's got like a Walmart or Starbucks or like a little Burger King or something that hey, hadn't I don't know who you are. So why don't we meet up at the food court at the Portugal Mall? We'll meet at the little Chick-fil-A food court. We'll get there, have us a little sandwich, some waffle fries. We'll have us a moment. Let's test it. Let's kind of and then we'll go from there. Not Ed. He's just gonna take the word of this dude because the app, the QR code, and the fingery thing basically said that's your brother. They just went right over there, drove up in the driveway. So here you are, foreign country you know nothing about, in a driveway you have no clue who these people are, and you have pulled up in there and you are reuniting. I guess no doubt. Okay, that's your brother. The motherfucker looks just like you, but you could have been a little smarter. Could have been in the middle of a mall food court Chick-fil-A, a little test the waters type thing. But they're just way too. It was just like Ed was just so fucking desperate. So I guess it didn't surprise me because Ed comes across desperate and needy the whole fucking movie. And so Ed just desperate, needy, of course he grew up one of those, mommy didn't hug me enough because mommy wasn't there type things. He was just looking for something. And he was ready to hold on to whatever little bit of like little mommy hold me type thing he could get. Now, because it's weird the way you see Manuel, whatever, interact with him. Like hugging on him and shit. Like, they meet out in the driveway. They go in the house and he just comes up to him, throws his arms around him, and they hugging, big ass fucking house and shit. And he's like hugging up on him. And I'm like, dude, you just met this dude. You know nothing about him. But here you are letting this motherfucker hug all up on you. You know, it was awkward. Like who? I just don't think it goes down that way. It would just be like, no, I'm. Could you imagine that phone call? Like, hey, Ed, I'm your brother, Manny. You were kidnapped 30 years ago. Why don't you hop on a plane and come on over here to Portugal? And here's our address. Come to our house, pull up, and you can just, we'll reunite right here in the house. And, no. Um, yeah, I didn't. It was just, but after you get to know Ed, Edward, whatever, and it makes completely sense because Ed is just one of the desperate little needy pieces of shit. Like, that just even at 30 years old, I believe if mom would be like, come over here and suck my titty, fucking Ed would go over there and suck the titty because he's just that fucking desperate for attention. And so, yeah, I disliked him early on through the whole fucking movie. I disliked him. Um, but like I said, I disliked everybody in this movie. They all could have just bad things happen to them, Dolph. You don't care. For me, there was no person that I connected with that I gave a shit about through this whole thing. So, so now you will get now we got Ryley Ed in this big house in Portugal, foreign country, you know nothing. But now we're reunited, and Manny is just fucking weird, little wannabe Fabio. And so he's kind of showing them around the house when they first get there. And even Ed comes out and asks him, like, where's mom? Because mom's still alive, because he tells him at the phone call that mom's been looking for you this whole time. Mom's wondered what happened to you the night you get kidnapped. So mom's still alive and kicking. So you would think 30 years, people, and the you've decided you're going to come all the way over there. You are showing up 30 years of being gone. This You've been reunited. You would think this would be a family affair. We got creepy ass Fabio Manny coming out of the house, and it's, everybody's there, but not mom. Mom's not there. The mom who had the baby snatched out of her house right at 30 years ago. Um, Ed asks Manny, he's like, "Where's mom?" And then he's kind of like, mom's not feeling too good today. It's like, okay. So do you think mom looked at Manny and was kind of like, Manny trying to talk to her, but hey, your long lost son that was kidnapped over 30 years ago is showing up today, like driving up. He's going to be here this evening. And mom, who had her son taken 30 years ago, mom with the creepy white rolled back eyes and shit, would have been, and she kind of be like, just not feeling too good today, Manny. Um, Maybe later. And that's what happens. He tells him, Mom's not feeling good. You're not going to see her right now. And so later on, and Manny's got like this accent, which is different, of course, being in Portugal. And so they sound completely different. And so like the first night there, um, in the room, Ryley, the girlfriend, and Ed are talking. And Ed makes a comment now. Now Ed has a moment of a little bit of like common sense. He makes a comment like maybe we should have stayed somewhere. Like maybe yeah, we're gonna meet. We're gonna get a hotel, kind of in town. And we'll fly in, we'll get to our hotel room, we'll settle in, and tomorrow at the Portugal Mall, we're gonna link up in the food court at Chick-fil-A, having some waffle fries, and that will be our moment. So he's talking to Ryley, he's like, maybe we should have got somewhere. And she was like, are you kidding? And then Ryley kind of starts making fun of Manny's accent. She's like making fun. And I say that because there's a part in this movie where Ryley has a moment. Ryley has two different voices in this movie. And I don't think it was meant to be that way. It just was because Ryley at some time when she's talking sounds one way. And then she has a friend back home, maybe a good friend. It's a chick. Her name's Jay. Great name, by the way. Jay in the movie. Great name. But her name is Jay. And there's some in the movie she calls back, talking to her and stuff like that. And it's a completely different voice. Like, we'll get to that. But I'm just like, bitch, why the fuck you making fun of damn Manny? You got like two personalities up in there. You got one voice that you talk to fucking, no balls Eddie with. You talk to him with that voice. And then you got a different tone of voice when you talk to old girl Jay back in the States, But, and so throughout the movie, there is a lot of these moments where they had like these dreams and shit. Well, fucking Manny right out of the gate, not Manny, but Eddie. Eddie had like a little kind of like weird dreams and shit like that. So at this point, family, if you're still with us, if you didn't get up and leave in the beginning when I started making the fucking Diddy jokes, if you're still at the table and you're still drinking with us, and everybody take you a break real quick. Gentleman Jack break, thank you. Still here. Now, at this point in the movie, you're probably asking yourself, I don't know what's going on. Where's this thing going? And that's what I said. Up till now, it's got you. Like you're into it. Yeah, I hate all of them. I dislike them all. I want them all to die off in a horror movie. I don't care because there's no connection to any of them. They all annoy you. But, and so if you're wondering kind of like where's this thing going to go, and I guarantee you at this point, you wouldn't have guessed it. You're not going to guess the direction it goes. But if you did, if you're sitting there and you got the ideas running through your head, like, wonder, is it this? What's going on? And I will say this, if you picked, if you put your money on this one thing, if your pick of where this movie was going, if in your mind right now, if you can say, um, inbreeding witches, then you win. If your pick right now where this thing's going into inbreeding, inbreds, some wrong turn, heels have eyes, inbred witches. Yeah. Bet you didn't see it coming. I didn't either. Because that's exactly what the fuck this thing's about. Because you come to find out that the mother is a fucking witch. Now, you see the mother early in the movie when she's trying to put the kids to bed. Very attractive lady, good looking lady. And you come to find out she's a witch. Now, to stay young, here's what these witches have to do to stay young, for her to stay hot, for her to stay that, 20 something year old body, nice, everything. There's certain things that the witch has to do. The witch apparently has a gift to where when she gets pregnant, I guess it's twins. Maybe that's like a gift they have to where they just automatically produce twins, maybe. And this is where I said if you have if I spoil it. And so if you haven't watched it, if you didn't push pause and you're just like, I just want to listen, well, this is where I really spoil it. Because the witch, the mother, for her to stay young, the witch has to have sex, people, with her child. And she has to have, if she has twins, she has to eat one of the twins, and then she keeps one around. She has to keep that one around because Junior's got to tap that ass and get mommy knocked up again so she can have some more babies and have another baby to eat, because that's how they stay young. That's how they stay young throughout the years. Never grow old. As long as you're popping out twins, fucking one, eating one. That's right. Inbreeding witches. I bet that was not on your. I bet it was not on your choice of like where's this movie going, because it definitely wasn't for me at all. Like that one came out of left field. I'm already hating on fucking no balls Ed, and then when it all starts kind of peeling back and you finally realizing like, because before it really tells you, it comes a point in the movie where it really tells you that information, but you pick up on it like something's just not right. Because when Ed finally meets the mother for the first time, in the beginning you seen nice young, attractive lady. And yeah, I get it. We're 30 years later, maybe she didn't age like fine wine, but it's 30 years. You don't know. But when he first meets her, he gets woken up in the middle of the night. He gets woken up by his fucking weird ass brother, Fabio Manny, to be like, hey, do you want to go meet mom? It's like middle of the fucking night, right after he has a weird dream. And he gets kind of woken up. And could you imagine waking up in the middle of the night? Like you just chose to go all the way to Portugal and you chose to meet these people in the middle of the fucking nowhere in somewhere you know nothing about. And you are going to stay in the home. And so here you are in the middle of the night, you and your girl Ryley in your little guest bedroom, middle of the night, get woken up with Fabio Manny, who you've never met until today, wakes you up in the middle of the night, just kneeling next to your bed. He's just like, Brother Ed, Brother Ed. And then Ed wakes up Don't even freak out. Don't even be like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you know, I'd come off the bed swinging at fucking, Fabio Manny. But he just kind of like looks at him. He was like, do you want to beat mom? And so he gets up, middle of the night, goes into mom's room. And this is where you get that first image of the mother, the young, attractive mother in the beginning. 30 years later, mama did not age well at all. Mama decided, you know, looked like she became a test dummy for a fucking plastic surgeon that wants to do all that fucking fancy shit you see them do now with putting giving the fat lips and trying to get rid of wrinkles, whatever the fuck they do now. I don't really know. But when he sees her for the first time, the bitch is ugly, like ugly. She's sitting there, face all weird looking because they done injected whatever the fuck they put in her. These big ass lips, man, are just nasty looking. Like, and she's sitting there with like these gloves on her hands, and like she's fucking ugly. And you can tell when he kind of looks in, he sees her for the first time. You can tell he's kind of looking at her like kind of drew back a little bit. And then he goes over to the bed. He sits down next to her. Now he's having this mother to son moment, and she's telling him like, oh, you're so perfect, look, you're so perfect. And there's a little hug, there's a little embrace, there's this little hallmark moment where he lays down on her, like she's holding him and he's crying. She starts making this weird ass cry, and when she starts crying, it's almost like she's having sex. It's this weird kind of sound that sounds like she's fucking, and it was just odd. And so they have this like the first son mother moment, and the whole thing was fucking creepy. The way she looked, creepy. Then, when he starts telling, he eventually tells Ryley about it, like the next day. And it's even more like the way, especially that morning after he meets her for the first time, when he sits down with Ryley and he's talking to her, and he comes over, and she's like, Ryley wakes up that morning. He comes over, sits on the bed, and then this little soft ass pussy ass sound whispering talk that I don't know why people do this in the movies. You see it all the time in movies. There's like they'll be talking, but it's like this low whisper. I'm like, what the fuck for? Like, why are we whispering? I hate it. Because he just kind of like, um, I met my mother today or this morning. Whatever the fuck he said, but he's doing this little pussy ass whisper voice because that's what fucking Ed is. Ed is a pussy. And he's like this little whispery type voice. And you can tell the way Ryley's talking to him, like Ryley is like the one that like, I guess she's okay with that because the way she's talking to him is like she likes it. Maybe she's down for one of those like, like no bald little bitches or whatever the fuck he is. But she's sitting there talking to him, and he was just like, yeah, I met my mom. And she was like, how was it? And he's like, it was beautiful. What the fuck are you talking about, Ed? Like you just seen this little fucking train wreck of a mother in there with this little fucked up shit. You had your little cry on her chest moment, and then he's like, "Oh, it was beautiful." And then he shifts gears. He was like, "But," kind of like she's had some work done. I was kind of taken back. She's had a lot of work done, and I'm just like, and then she's the way they make her like Ryley talk to him because when he tells her this. She's got this little catery little like it's almost like Ryley, you were his mother figure. That's why he got with you. Because you treat him like a mother in a way. Because in this when he's telling her this, he's like, she had this work done, and she makes this little line, and she reaches out and touches his arm. She's like, oh baby. I'm like, okay, I get it now. Ryley, you were his mother figure. You're the one because he's so fucked in the head. You were his mother figure. You basically catered to him, catered to his little whiny ass. Ryley was the mother figure. Now, things will happen to where even Riley will start having these weird ass fucking dreams. And throughout the movie, when you see these dreams, you kind of like, oh, it's just a dream. But then when she wakes up, like some of this shit's like really, like some shit had really happened. Even when her dreams, I don't get it because there's like a part in this thing where she's having this fucked up dream, and it shows her kind of sit up in the bed, and when she looks over, she hears something, and and the one thing I didn't like, a couple of the parts like at nighttime when they're in the bed having these dreams, is you seeing things really dark, like really hard to see. You almost have to watch this movie. Oh shit! I just had a yawn. My bad. But gentleman Jack break. But you really have to like almost watch this movie with all the lights out, just so you can kind of make out what's going on, especially in these nighttime scenes. And so, like one night she wakes up and she's hearing something, and you see her kind of roll over in the bed, and she's looking, and like you can tell that somebody is there, and it's like this lady, which is the mother, is in there, and some shit goes down, when she kind of wakes up from this. Just apparently, it was a dream. But I'm like, even if it wasn't a dream, like if the dude, your little bitch ass boyfriend Ed is laying there, you don't make no effort to even wake him up because maybe she already knew. Maybe she already knew that he's a fucking pussy, and it was like a waste of time to try to wake him up because what the fuck is he gonna do? Just you're his fucking mommy figure. So she didn't even bother to try to wake him up. Like she wakes up middle of the night, looks over there, you got the creepy ass mother in the floor next to her luggage, folding her underwear. Yeah, that's what she's doing, people. Was it a dream? You don't know because next morning she wakes up, her suitcase is open with some very nicely folded panties in there. So if it wasn't, I don't know, dream or not, but nowhere in this dream, you got your little punk ass boyfriend laying next to you. You did not like nudge him, little elbow, like, hey, wake him up, nothing. Cause she knew. She knew Ed's a little bitch and he ain't gonna do shit. He would have, because there's a part in this movie also where they get into bed one night to go to sleep. And oh yeah, because where she kind of gets the idea. Riley's in her taking a piss one night. She goes down the hallway. She hears the mother and little Fabio Manny in there in the bedroom, in the mother's bedroom, because it shows them. Like mom's laying on the couch. The first time you get to see Fabio Manny laying there like his little boxers, laying on mama's chest in the bed. Grown ass man, laying kind of on mama's chest in the bed with mother. As soon as I seen it, I was like, the fuck's going on here? Because he's laying on her and he's talking to her. And the mother's even asking him, she's like, do you think she's pretty? And he's like, who, Ryley? And he tells his mother, he's like, you're the prettiest one girl in the world, blah, blah, blah. And he makes a comment to her and says, I wish it could be me. You don't think nothing of it until you get till later on. But while they're in there, Riley's up, taking a piss, goes down the hallway, being nosy, goes to the bedroom door. She don't know what they're saying because they're speaking in Portuguese. So she pulls out her phone. You know how and she hits a little button where it basically takes what they are saying and then it translates to her on her phone. Now, it must be super sonic sensitive on this fucking app, whatever the fuck she was using, because she's at the door. Door's closed, they're in the bed, and it's picking up on everything they're saying. And you're seeing the wording coming out there. And it's basically now after you watch it, you really know the basically wording. Apparently, Fabio Manny was shooting blanks. Fabio Manny couldn't knock mama up. But that's why he was saying the line, I wish it could be me. But Fabio Manny, the twin brother in Portugal, couldn't get the job done. Didn't have no swimmers. Couldn't get up in there and just really give it to mama. Couldn't do it. And that's why he was saying, I wish it was me. He wishes he could get his mother pregnant but he couldn't. That's where bitch ass Eddie comes in. So, and that's where you it kind of starts kind of peeling that back. And then that night, she basically goes to the bedroom, back to after hearing that she didn't see nothing, she heard it. After hearing that shit translated on the phone, goes back to the bedroom. And what do we got? We got bitch boy Eddie sitting at the little table with a little book and he's writing. And she's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm trying to write a song." She's like, "What about?" And he don't really say, but I know what it was about. He had decided to write some song about I finally meet my mother after all these years and I'm a little bitch. And it's just, he's such a fucking loser in this movie. Loser. And so basically she tells him, she's like, "Let's late, let's go to bed." You know what Eddie did? Eddie put the fucking pen down and took his ass to bed because the mommy figure Ryley said, "It's late, let's go to bed." They get into bed. Um, I don't know how people cuddle in different ways, but um, it's just odd to me. They get into bed. She lays down. He lays on her chest. He's the little spoon. He's the bitch spoon. He lays on her chest. She puts her arm around him, and I'm just like, what? Like you are fuck Eddie. You're a loser. And he's like laying there, and then she even comes out and tells him. She's like, "I think your brother's sleeping with your mother." And it was kind of like, he's like, "What? How do you know?" And she's like, "Because I just heard him." And then he just lays there. And it's just this like, oh, that's weird. No shit, Sherlock. No fucking shit. It's weird. Like in that moment, if your girl comes in there and says, I think your brother and your mother are sleeping together. Right then, we're grabbing our suitcases. Hey, hey, fuck this. Let's go. We out. It's fucking creepy, man. And it's like he's just like, "Oh, it's weird. That's weird," and they just go to sleep like it's nothing. Now I said earlier where I made fun of like how the girlfriend Ryley was making fun of the brother, how Fabio Manny talked. After all this shit goes down, because it caught me off guard when I'm watching the movie. Because in this moment, I happened to looking at my phone or something, and I heard this voice start talking. And it was like, "Hey, Jay," like really deep. I'm like, "Who the fuck is this?" And I look up and it's fucking Ryley. Riley's on the phone with her little best friend back in the States named Jay. But she has this weird, kind of deep, manly voice. And I'm just like, "Why are you talking like this to this girl?" And then I'm like, maybe is she confused? Maybe she may is Jay her secret lesbian affair? Maybe because it's like two different people talk on the phone. Like when she says it, it sounds so odd, and it's not really meant to be in the movie at all. Like taken that way because there's nothing in the movie that goes back to like her and this particular person having anything. It's just the way she sounded on the phone. When the first time she gets on the phone with her, it's just like this deep sounding like, "Hey Jay," and I'm like, "What the fuck? Who the fuck are you?" But it's Riley. Different voice because you're talking to your little girl back in the States than what you talk to when you talk to your little bitch ass, boyfriend here. But it was just odd to me, like, how that voice change was so odd because it was extremely deep. She's extremely sounded like, yeah, hey, if maybe she was trying to figure some shit out. Maybe she'd have been better off if she'd have cut off old little can't get off of mama's titty fucking bitch ass Ed and just ran off and played your lesbian card with your girl Jay back in the States. Because that whole scene, it was just weird. Like as soon as she started talking, I was like, "Why did you sound like that?" "Hey Jay," really deep. Watch the movie, get to that part, close your eyes, and you would not know. You'll think somebody completely new just showed up in this movie and started talking. It was weird. Weird. Had nothing to do with the movie. It was just this. The way she talked, don't know why, but yeah. But so the whole thing starts getting peeled back. Um, you come to find out that they have a gift. They call it a gift. I don't know what the fuck. Because it eventually, the brother, Fabio Manning, and Ed have a little moment together where uh Fabio Manny does a little eye roll back into his head and then turns into Ryley. Like apparently there's a gift. They can transform themselves into another person. I don't know why, little wussy ass Ed apparently hasn't figured it out yet. He don't know how to do it, but Fabio Manny does. He knows how to do it, like transform, because he shows it to him. Like they're in this little meditation room, and he starts, Ed starts having these little flashbacks of like his mother and shit like that. Well, he opens his eyes, next thing you know, he's got Ryley sitting across from him. And the dude has basically turned himself into Ryley. And apparently tells him like we got a gift. All this shit. Not one time did Ed think this is fucked up. This isn't normal. Let me get my girl Ryley and we're gonna get out of town. Not one time does he do it. Not once. Ryley's the only one. Because Ryley goes and starts getting some information. Ryley starts, digging. Ryley goes back and talks to that lady she met in the very beginning on the side of the road. She ends up bumping into her, and you come to find out a lot of the info. Because that lady was directly tied to that family because her daughter was involved with the son of the crazy ass mother. Hey, you just got to watch it. But so she kind of gets the whole deal. She figures it out, starts piecing it together, and she comes to find out what goes down. Inbreeding witches. They gotta give birth. They have two. If they have a girl, they just automatically kill it. Like girl, just fucking kill you off. You ain't no good to them if you're a girl. But two boys, they gotta eat one, but gotta fuck one. It's almost like our show, Fuck, Marry, or Kill. But hey, mama's got to decide. Now, when she has to, I wonder which one, how do you pick? Like, is it like this little feeling you get? You hold one, because at that age, did she know? Like many years ago when little punk ass Ed got kidnapped and then she was stuck there with old blank shooting, you know, Fabio Manning, did she know that the good one was taken? And then like little blank shooter that she was stuck with him? Like, is there a way that she knows, like, when they're born, like, okay, that's the one I gotta eat? Because I think she does. Because what made me think that they do know is because in the beginning, she took that little dropper of that shit to put in his milk bottle. The one who got that milk bottle was blank shooting Manny. The one who got kidnapped out of the floor was Ed, that got dropped off at the fire department. So I think the mother knew. I think the whole thing that night was she put that little shit into his baby bottle. She was going to dope the little baby up, put him in la la land, and then she was going to eat the fuck out of him. And then she was going to raise old Eddie over here to be her next, son stud that she was going to have to fuck and get knocked up by to carry on. I think she knew. Because later on in this movie, you will get to a part where it shows her using that same little dropper shit of medicine. Now, gets toward the end of it. Our girl Ryley has figured some shit out. She's trying to get punk ass Ed to leave. Ed is such a fucking mama's boy, and she's trying to explain to him. Like she gives him all the information, trying to explain to him. We need to get out of here. We need to go. Ed's like, no. He's just, and it's just so fucking annoying. So it's going to get to it gets to a point to where finally Riley's like, we're leaving, and Ed's acting like he's going to go with him because gentleman Jack break. Thank you. She's like, we're going to get in the car. We're getting out of here. And this is where it all kind of goes down because Fabio Manny is going after the girlfriend, Ryley. Mom has plans for little punk ass Eddie. Last night, time to get out of town. They've had enough. Some shit's gone down. Go watch the movie. You know, you'll get all the information, but some shit's going down. It's time to get out of Dodge. Ryley goes out there to get in the car. She basically tells him, like, we're leaving. I will be in the car. You know, she packs her little suitcase. She's like, I will be in the car. First off, if I was Ryley, you know, just because little punk ass Eddie couldn't make his fucking mind up, I'd have took my ass to the car and I'd have drove the fuck off and left. You know, she was nice enough to like get out to the car and then wait on him because when she gets to the car, then she really gets the whole kind of come to Jesus fucking moment because she gets a phone call. Well, not really a phone call. It's like a voicemail that was left on the phone. The voicemail was from the company that this whole thing started with, Ancestry. Phone, app, finger and plastic thing. That company leaves a message basically saying Mr. Ed, his last name was, I think, Ippus in this movie. Ipus. Ipus. Ippus. I don't know. But and they're like, we've been trying to get in contact with you, but basically we've done some research on your DNA, and it basically in that message it tells them that there are inbreeding going on. I don't know how they test that. Um, because I would think, I don't know, because they got put in contact with two brothers, Fabio Manny, Mama Boy Eddie, and it puts those together. I'm not sure what this company did that was able to dissect it down to the point to realize to be like, hey, y'all came from inbreeding. I don't know. I'm not really sure. But she kind of finds that out. Now, she's in the car about to leave. Fabio Manny is out there to stop her. Basically, they've come to the point where Riley's got to die. Fabio Manny, that's your job. Mama's got other plans. Mama needs a new body. Mama needs to be young again. And we've already told you the only way Mama gets to be young again, she got to get pregnant. Mama needs some new babies. Mama needs a new baby to eat, to get young, and a new baby to get older that she can fuck to get pregnant again. She has plans for Eddie because we already know Fabio Manny is shooting blanks. He couldn't do it. Mom goes to make some tea. You see Mama take that little dropper medication, puts it in a little tea glass. She's in the bed that night. Uh, Mama boy Eddie comes up in there like, hey, we got to leave for a few days. Mom's trying to play it cool, kind of like, oh, okay, well, have your tea. They're sitting there having their tea. He has his tea. He has the roofie tea. He's going to get up, get ready to leave. His whole plan in that moment was, I'm going to go get in the car with my girl and we're going to leave. He goes down the hallway. You see him kind of staggering around. He goes into the bedroom, falls on the bed. When he falls on the bed, back in the garage, uh, Fabio Manny is still trying to deal with old girlfriend Ryley. They do some fighting, some shit, whatever. Mama gets out of bed. Now I told you earlier they have this gift to where they can turn into other people. Next thing you know, you see Mama boy Eddie laying on the bed. Guess who walks into the bedroom in that moment? Not Mama. It was girlfriend Ryley. Mama has turned herself into girlfriend Ryley. Riley's out there trying to fight for her life from fucking psycho, Fabio Manning. Mom turned into Ryley, crawls onto the bed. Ed is fucked up. Mommy done roofied him. He's laying on the bed. And apparently, it's not the type of roofie shit that kind of knocks you completely out. It just kind of gets you really mellow, you know, because next thing you know, Mama slash Ryley starts kissing. She starts kissing on him. Next thing you know, she's taking her damn top off, shirt's coming off. And I'm like, holy shit. Mama is about to fuck her own son, Eddie. About to get the MILF. The mother I like to fuck. She's giving him the MILF pussy. She's gonna put it on him in this moment. Like she's like kissing on him, shirt comes off, and it's kind of flashing back and forth. Our girl Ryley trying to get back to him. Ryley actually gives a shit for some fucking reason. She could have been in the car down the road and gone, but whatever. She's still there. But apparently she likes catering to this little bitch ass boy, Eddie. So she's trying to get back in the house. Then it's flashing back and forth. Then we get a little shot of the mother in Riley's form, a little riding, a little grinding, you know, putting that good love on old little mama boy. And you can tell he's fucked up. Like he's out of it. He's awake. He's awake enough to keep his dick hard. Awake enough to drive through. Mom sits in there riding, and Ryley gets away. Ryley makes it back into the house. Ryley comes into the house up the stairs. Hears something in the hallway, and this is to me is the grossest part of this movie. This movie had a couple parts, little, whatever, of a little blood here and there, some shit, little jump scares that did pretty good on. But this part right here, the grossest part of this movie. Now, we seen Mother has taken Riley's form. So what Mama Boy Eddie's seeing is Ryley riding him. He's really fucked up, but you see her riding him and shit, Mama's on top. And Ryley comes around the corner, hears some shit, looks down the hallway into the room where they were sleeping, and it gives you a view from the back. You see the legs hanging off side the bed, which is little Mama Boy Eddie. And then you see Mama riding him. But this is not Mama in Riley's body form. She sees her in the old lady form. And it looks like she got like this body full of tattoos or whatever. Whatever, that's fine. Cool, tattoos, got it. But it's the fact of the way that from the backside of what the mom looked like she had to be in her fucking, old, like maybe, I don't know, 70s, maybe. I don't know. She just looked old, the way they made her look. But you get a back view and you see like old, like what 70-year-old ass would look like. Just sitting on top of little Ed, and she's just kind of riding, and you see the ass motion of like 80-year-old ass, just kind of just that just it wasn't pretty sight. And so when she sees it, and then it's doing a little flash, because then we just get the backside. And I'm like, well, holy shit, at least it's just the back. But then it gives you a front view. Don't show no titties. You don't want to see 80-year-old tits, man. But like it shows a little front view, and the front view is that mother's face that you've seen the whole movie. Like, all big lip, whatever, eyes rolled back, creepy as fuck. Just kind of like mom's getting him there. Mom is working it, man. She is putting it on Junior. So Ryley sees it. Ryley don't go running down the hall and try to be like, what the fuck are you doing? Try. No, she sees it, turns around, and goes and hides in the fucking hallway. And I'm like, I would think maybe like she would have went like after, like charged after, like you got the crazy. Her back is to you, like you had a moment. She had a hammer in her hand. You could have rolled up in there while she's just, taking your little boyfriend, mama's taking him down to Pound Town, mom just riding him. You could have come up behind her with a hammer, popped her in the head, or done something, but no, she hides. And then, like a few seconds later, he's like, Mom, the mom comes walking down the hallway and goes to the room. Like, mom got what she needed. Mom got that sun seed. She got her own, the sun seed has been planted. Mama dropped the MILF pussy on Junior and took the sun seed. She got what she needed. Went down the room, closed the door, went to bed. Ryley runs in there to snatch him up. We got to get out of here. She can tell he's fucked up. He's out of it. Like, you can tell. And on the way out, they're trying to get out of the house. There comes a moment where her and fucking Fabio, she pops him in the head with a hammer. He falls over the fucking banister. So then you got him down. You think he's dead. She's trying to get fucking Junior down the stairs. And the crazy ass mom comes running out. And the whole movie, the crazy ass mom moved slow as fuck, like all hunchbacked over, just slow moving. But now all of a sudden she's moving real good. Like she sees her old boy down there at the bottom of the stairs, fucked up. She's like moving fast, coming down the stairs and shit. And then she's after because she realizes that this fucking Ryley bitch has she's thinking that she has killed her Fabio, and now you're trying to take her the one son that can fuck her right and get her knocked up. Now you're trying to take him too. Mama's not gonna have that. Mama's gonna try to fucking fuck you up, Ryley, and that's what she tries to do. The one thing that was funny to me though, and toward the end of it, right at the end of it, that old, people make the comment all the time. They joke about fellas. They did us, they didn't give us no breaks in this one, fellas. You always hear that thing. People always make these comments like you know, dude wants to bust his nut. The next thing that he just wants to roll over and fall asleep type shit. I guess there's people out there like that. That once you get it, it just knocks you out. Just no energy or nothing. But um, and that's exactly what went down because we got our girl Ryley fighting for her life. Mother's trying to kill her. And off to the side, you see, and it's funny though, because your dude or a little bitch ass Eddie's fucked up because he's been drugged. But it's funny though, watching him trying to get off the floor. Like he is seeing his girlfriend about to get stabbed by the crazy ass mother. But he's trying to get off the floor. But it's funny, it's drugs. But at the same time, I'm sitting there going, like, come on now. Y'all trying to make it look like just because this old dude got him a good nut off in mama that he's just so out of it right now. He can't even fucking stand up. Like he is out of it. And so, like, he's just on the floor, can't even get up. His girlfriend fighting for her life. You know, maybe mama's pussy must have been that good. Dude was down. Like, he was ready for a sandwich and a nap. Is what he was ready for. And I'm just like, come on, now. The dude, you could have let him at least have a moment. Like he's been a bitch this whole movie. I would have liked maybe at the end of it, let him have a little something to where it looked like he still had some balls left in him, but it didn't. Eddie was a bitch all the way to the end. And it was like, yeah, inbreeding witches, man. Have them babies, eat one, fuck one, stay young. Because even in the end, you think it's going to end. You think everybody's dying. You think, Ryley's getting away, taking away the little punk ass Ed, and off they go. But even when it got to the end of it, I told you I didn't like nobody in this movie. They all could have died off. But when the end of it hit, and you see Ryley get away with her little punk ass boyfriend Ed, and a part of me was like, I hope they didn't kill the mother. I want to see like hope there's something at the like and there's a few seconds as they're kind of driving away. I'm like, man, I hope they're not like I want them to not be dead. I want to see, okay, what's the ending going to be? And then the next thing you know, back in the house, mom opens her eyes. Fabio, Fabio Manny opens his eyes. She goes over there, brushes his hair back. He looks up, blood everywhere, like, Mommy? And I'm like, oh yeah, they're not dead. And then we get it. Some nice little music starts playing. We see mom dancing around with this new baby. Young mom, nice and young, setting the baby down into the little bassinet thing. Only one baby because she ate that other little fucker, and that's what made her young again. Music starts playing. Mom puts the baby down. Mom's dancing. Nice and young again. Here comes old Fabio Manny strolling in there with his tight blue jeans and his tight shirt. Him and mom dancing together. Next thing you know, they're kissing. Yeah. I guess fucking uh Fabio Manny was just getting to just enjoy fucking his mom, I guess, because he couldn't knock her up. He was shooting blanks. But especially, I guess maybe when she was older, he didn't get down like that. Maybe he did. But now that he's got the young version, now he's kind of like really into it because, like, at the very end, they're kind of like kissing. I'm like, oh, I bet Manny's having is thinking to himself, I'm having the time of my life. I got my young mama back. I can lay the pipe to young mom now, and not like like all fucking botoxed up old ass mama that you sing the whole fucking movie. But yeah, uh, punk ass Eddie and his little girlfriend get away, and I feel sure they're probably sitting somewhere right now on the couch. Eddie's probably laying in her lap as she brushes her fingers through his little bitch ass hair, and he's probably asking her like, "Hey, babe, you okay? Um, are you mad at me? Did I do something? Are you okay?" Because Ed's just a fucking bitch. And he's probably like, like she's the mother figure to him. You could tell, like the way she talks to him. And maybe she uses that deep voice on him sometime, like she used earlier on with that girl, like, hey Jay, like that deep voice, like that deep voice to try to use on her like her, you know, should be lesbian lover, the way they were talking on the phone type thing. But yeah, they're probably doing okay. Because mom don't really, if you think about it now, the mom doesn't really need uh Eddie no more. Because Eddie did his job. Eddie came to town, Eddie knocked mama up, got her good impregnated, and went on about his business. Mom got her two couple little twins, got to have a little baby barbecue with one, got young again. Now she's got the new one. She still got her little Fabio Manny son. The new little junior, she just got to let him grow up old enough to where she can fuck him, And I don't know if I wonder if she has like an age limit. Like, at what point does the creepy witch mom, the inbreeding witch, get to like try to start in getting impregnated by the son? Like, does Junior have to be a certain age? You know, uh, fellas out there, we all we remember the first time we first jacked off and had that first experience. We know it can start at a younger age. So I'm wondering, like, what's mom's cutoff? Like, when does mom really start testing the waters? Uh, like that'll like mama needs a new pair of shoes type thing. Does she start putting the little drops in Junior's little thing at like eighth, ninth grade, 10th grade type thing? I'm kind of curious. Like, when's mama start trying to make that new breed, the new baby? But yeah, that's something you can all think about there. I'm gonna leave you with that. Like, what's mom's cut off like that? We got the shot of the baby in a little bassinet, her and little Fabio dancing around, new little baby. At what point? Because you already know Fabio Manny's shooting blanks. He can't knock mama up. At what point does the little new man gets to fucking do his part for the family? Mama used him as like a weird little vibrator type. I don't know. That's, yeah. You all, it's in your mind now, people. Now you're thinking about it, but it's okay. That's why we enjoy doing this show. And we enjoy the way we are around here because we get to say and do what we want, not give a fuck. But now, are we fucking marrying or killing? Hey, I talked a lot of shit about it as it went on. And yeah, for me, I gotta kill this one, people. Um, I don't plan on watching it again. I don't plan on going back to it. But I will tell you all to go watch it and go check it out. It's one of those kills that it's one of those kids. It was bad, but you'll still tell your friends about it. You know, you got ready to leave the club. Last call, you reached out, you looked over there, you found that one fucking, the sea donkey, and that's when you took home. You did the thing. You did a night with it. You got out there the next day. You wasn't proud of it, but you still told your friends about it the next day. You still kind of like, yeah, I did. It's kind of one of those kills because it's it's out there, man. It's one of those like it's inbreeding witches, like the whole thing. You gave me the grossed out part where I had to watch the rear view version of, you know, Mama just riding, and then you get like 80-year-old ass type thing. But hey, it's worth the watch. You definitely got to check it out. I say that about every movie. I will never get on here and say do not watch a movie. I will never do that. I tell people to watch any horror movie you can. Um, Independent, fucking love it. Go watch this movie. It's on Hulu. Maybe it's somewhere else. I'm not sure. But yeah, after I watched it, I knew I was gonna have fun just talking about it because it was just so weird. And some of the shit talking just kind of writes itself for this one, that as you watch it, and every fucking character you just dislike. And I had no connection to none of them. Look, you get your movies sometime, you have them one or two that you kind of like, you get to know them, be like, man, I hope that one makes it to the end. They could have fucked this whole fucking cast up and killed them all off in this one. I wouldn't have gave a shit. But it was entertaining. Had my attention in the beginning. It kept me all the way to the end. And I had a good time. Sea donkey. But I'm going to tell my friends about it tomorrow. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. Um, Me and John have been in, a lot of talk about some upcoming movies we want to do. Not sure. He just once again had the newest addition to the Fright Flick family, just recently born. So he's doing the daddy thing and getting all that. And so, but yeah, he's looking forward to coming back on here, and not sure exactly when, but when he does, we will set up the YouTube live because of our over 100 now subscribers on YouTube, and we definitely appreciate it. And yeah, that's super cool to us. Big deal. And we are going to do a YouTube live once he gets here. I'm not going to do it without him. So that is in the works. So I don't know. There's a chance. I do know that there's a chance that next week we may be talking about that new movie called Oddity or some shit like that. Dylan is he's been on the show before. It's one he wants to talk about. So if everything works out, that could possibly be next week sometime. But yeah, that's about all I can give you as far as what may be coming. Not really, like I said, we don't plan shit around here, people. We get on here, talk shit, and send it. But yeah, I appreciate you all hanging out again for another episode. I appreciate the family out there. Appreciate you all taking a few minutes of your day. And if we was able to give you a little break from all the other, normal blah blah bullshit that goes on throughout the week, and just, a few minutes to kind of laugh, smile, whatever, take a little break from all the norm. and it was worth it. And I enjoyed getting on here and hanging out, talking shit with y'all. But I think that's gonna wrap it up for this week's episode, people. I need you all to have a great weekend. And in the words of John, y'all all stay fucked. And I like that line when he used that. And but yeah, once again, thank you all. Go check us out on all social media. We're on all of them on YouTube. If you're listening, go subscribe to it, follow along, leave comments, ratings, email me, make recommendations, whatever. If you got questions, if you do got questions, we're going to do that live show eventually. If there's questions you would like to ask us, it don't have to be horror related. It could be anything. Me and John are open book. We don't hold shit back. Like questions, whatever you want to ask, send us an email, whatever, DM me, Instagram, whatever, and we'll talk about that shit when we do the live show. But yeah, thank you all again for supporting this shit show and hanging out with us. You are all fucking awesome. But we have reached that time of the show, family, where I need you all to run over there and put your chairs away. I need you to gather up all your shit. I need you to grab your drinks. I need you all to get the fuck out of here.
What's your favorite scary movie?
We have such sights to show you.
Monsters!
All you have left is my desire.
My name is Frankenstein!
That man's got Mars!
Oh, no tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.
See this? This is my boomstick!
I ate his liver with some fava beans. Nice meat. It's us.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
It's alive! It's alive!
Here's Johnny.
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains.
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror.
Welcome to the debauchery.